Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Olomoro, nestled between the rolling hills and dense forest, lived a poor farmer named Maduka. He had inherited a modest plot of land from his ancestors, land that had always provided for his family. Each season, the rains came, the soil thrived, and his crops flourished. But in recent years, something has changed. No matter how hard he worked or how diligently he tended to the land, his crops failed. The stalks of maize withered before reaching maturity, yams rotted in the ground, and the fruits from the trees became scarce and sour. Every harvest season, while the fields of other villagers blossomed, Maduka's land remained barren. This mystery weighed heavily on him, but more so on his family. His children went hungry, his wife grew weak, and the once joyful songs of the farm fell silent. Desperation hung in the air, a tangible thing, as every day Maduka returned to his dying crops. Unbeknownst to him, a curse had been placed upon his land. This curse was no accident of nature but a calculated move by a wealthy landowner, Chiwetelaagu. Chiwetelaagu had long coveted Maduka's fertile land, knowing that its position by the river made it the richest soil in Olomoro. However, while the village respected their traditions and boundaries, Chiwetelaagu's greed knew no such limits. He conspired to take Maduka's land by any means necessary, and thus, he sought the help of a powerful sorcerer, commissioning a curse that would plague Maduka's crops, season after season, until he had no choice but to sell the land at a pitiful price. As the seasons passed and his situation worsened, Maduka became increasingly desperate. His friends in the village pitied him but could offer little help beyond words of encouragement. The village chief, Makara, advised him to sell the land and move on, suggesting that the soil might have gone bad or the gods were displeased with him. Yet Maduka knew, deep in his heart, that something else was at play. One day, as he sat by the withering fields, watching the sun dip behind Mount Kora, Maduka noticed something strange. In the far corner of his field, where the light barely touched, a patch of crops stood tall and green, untouched by the blight that ravaged the rest of his farm. Curious and confused, Maduka approached the thriving patch. As he drew nearer, he noticed markings in the soil, strange symbols that seemed to pulse faintly in the dimming light. They were unlike anything he had seen before, and a deep sense of unease settled in his chest. That night, Maduka sought out the wisest person he knew, Aguta, an elder in Olomoro who was known for his knowledge of the old ways, the magic and mysteries of the land. Aguta was said to be a man in touch with forces beyond the mortal realm, and though Maduka had never believed in such things, his desperation pushed him to seek answers from the ancient knowledge Aguta possessed. Aguta lived on the edge of the village, in a small hut surrounded by herbs, charms, and strange artifacts. His eyes were cloudy with age, but his mind was as sharp as ever. When Maduka arrived, breathless and filled with worry, the elder listened carefully to his plight, nodding thoughtfully as Maduka described the strange markings in his field. "You are right to be concerned, Maduka," Aguta said slowly, his voice raspy from years of wisdom and speech. "The signs you describe are not natural. They speak of dark magic, a curse placed upon your land to strip you of its bounty. Someone seeks to break your spirit and take what is yours." Maduka's heart sank. He had always suspected something foul was at play, but hearing it confirmed left him cold. But who would do such a thing, he asked, though he already suspected the answer. Aguta's eyes narrowed as he stirred a pot of herbs over the fire. "The wealthy often seek more than what they need," he said cryptically. "I fear the landowner Chiwetelaagu may have had a hand in this." Maduka's fist clenched in anger, but Aguta raised a hand to calm him. "Do not act in haste. Magic like this cannot be undone by force. It is ancient and powerful. If you wish to reclaim your land and your livelihood, you must learn the old ways, the magic of your ancestors." For the next several weeks, Maduka returned to Aguta's hut daily, learning the ancient rituals and spells passed down through generations. He learned how to commune with the spirits of the earth and sky, how to listen to the whispers of the wind, and read the signs in the stars. Aguta taught him the ways of protection and the secrets of countering dark magic, warning him that once he began this journey, there would be no turning back. Maduka practiced diligently, his determination fueled by the memory of his dying crops and his starving children. Slowly, he began to feel a change within himself. He could sense the energy of the land, the flow of life beneath the soil, and the presence of the malevolent force that sought to drain it. His newfound power gave him hope, and with Aguta's guidance, he prepared to confront the source of his misfortune. One night, under the light of a full moon, Maduka performed the final ritual Aguta had taught him, a ceremony to uncover hidden truths. With the wind howling around him, Maduka stood in the center of his field, chanting the ancient words of power. As the last syllables left his lips, a great gust of wind swept across the land, and the markings in the soil began to glow once more. From the shadows emerged a figure, Chiwetelegu, his face twisted in shock and anger. The wealthy landowner had been drawn to the field, unable to resist the pull of the magic that Maduka had unleashed. He tried to flee, but Maduka's power held him in place. The truth had been revealed, and there was no escape. "You cursed my land!" Maduka shouted, his voice filled with the fury of a man who had lost everything. "You conspired to take what was mine, to leave my family to starve." Chiwetelegu sneered, though fear flickered in his eyes. "I only did what was necessary," he spat. "Your land is valuable, far too valuable for a poor farmer like you. I deserved it more than you." But Maduka would not be swayed by Chiwetelegu's greed. With the power he had learned from Aguta, he cast a final spell, one that broke the curse and bound Chiwetelegu's spirit to the very land he had sought to steal. The wealthy landowner would never again set foot in Olamoro, his greed consuming him in the end. With Chiwetelegu gone, the curse lifted, and Maduka's crops began to thrive once more. The maize grew tall, the yams were plentiful, and the fruits ripened sweetly on the trees. The land that had once withered under the weight of dark magic now flourished, a testament to the power of perseverance and the ancient wisdom of the ancestors. Maduka's family rejoiced, and the village celebrated his victory. He had not only saved his land but had also proven that even the poorest among them could rise against the greed of the wealthy. His story became legend, a tale passed down through generations as a reminder that the power of the earth and the magic of the ancestors could overcome even the darkest of curses. And so, Maduka lived in peace, his land bountiful once more, forever grateful for the wisdom of Aguta and the strength he had found within himself.